How's everybody doing with their, I don't know if you guys did your update yet or upgrade. Any any fun stuff yet?
We did ours Monday night into Tuesday morning. So we usually always go on a Monday night because Tuesday our branches are closed in the morning. So if there's any kind of problem, we have a little time to address it before they open. But luckily, knock on wood, it was pretty seamless. Um, we haven't had any, thank goodness, haven't had any problems. So.
Mm.
And then the system went out this morning. Koha just dropped off the planet this morning. So we're like, oh, okay, upgrade one day, outage the next day, get to practice that offline circ. But it was fixed pretty quickly. Apparently it was something system, like a whole, like, I guess it's like, I always think it's like the people that are on the same server wedge or server block, and then we all have the same problem at the same time. Because I know, Charlie, you're on the other side of the world,
Yeah,
or coast to coast.
yeah. No, I don't think we got that, but I do know that our IT guy was saying that sometime at 9 p.m. we had like a something happen and we don't know what or why it happened, but it affected Koha but it was fixed when we jumped back on, so
Oh, good. Wait, are
um,
you open at 9 p.m.? Are you open late?
not at all. We're
Okay.
open till I think on that day we were open till 6, so we had a good chunk of time.
Oh, good.
But yeah.
It's always funny to look at the transactional logs and see like when your holds are placed, because we close at 8 most nights. We close at 5 like other nights, but most nights we close at 8, and you see a spike around like 10:30, 11 o'clock, 11:30. I think when people have time to, like, the kids go to bed, they're getting, time to play on their phones and stuff. And then we see a huge spike at 2 a.m., which is funny because that's when all the auto renewals and stuff happens. Like all the system stuff happens at 2. So when I'm running these reports, I'm like, just ignore that 2 a.m. outlier. That's all the system doing the system stuff. So
I'm still trying to. So you're talking about that, and now I'm thinking about a report that I'm trying to run to find my inactive patrons using my SIP, the SIPs that I use, so that people who are mostly online would just like that's how I can find out if they're still active or not.
that's an interesting report. So are you using action logs for that? Or
I think I am using action logs now that I'm.
because we don't, like, our last scene date is only updated when, they authenticate somehow. It doesn't say which method they're authenticating from.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't know if they were using our app versus using our website versus, I mean, I guess I could figure it out if I had to, different logins and things.
Yeah,
Because I'm assuming each of your SIPs has a different login.
yeah,
So you would just look at their transactions.
yeah. And like from what I am, when I saw the data, what it seems to be only pulling is when it logs into the system. You can't see any kind of circulation stats or anything like that. But yeah, so last seen can kind of catch the SIP information, but it's not perfect yet. I'm still testing with my own test account and yeah.
Well, the action log includes an authentication module checkbox. I don't know if you know that or not.
I did not know that.
I was using that because I was trying to figure out, we had a problem with one of our staff members, and they are one of the floating staff members. So they're at multiple branches. And I was trying to figure out what branch this transaction happened at. And it wasn't like a checkout or something, it was like a claims return. And I
Mhm.
couldn't tell what branch they were logged in as when they did this transaction. And I was like, there's got to be a, I think I posted it to the sysadmin chat because I was like, there's got to be a way for this to be logged somewhere. And somebody's like, oh, the authentications, but that only tells me that they've logged into Koha
Mhm.
or that, they've used something. So I was like, well, that's not it. But yeah, there's lots of bugs for like logging more details in the action logs.
The authentication checkbox, I will look into that.
Yeah, it's right next to the all box. Under modules. Um, and I don't know if you have to have that turned on, but that's an easy buy water ticket if you do.
Hmm.
Um,
Thank you. I like
because
this.
I just noticed that this is new. There's a module for transfers, excuse me, under the log viewer, and ours isn't turned on. Like we're not logging transfers. So I'm going to go look into that, but I don't remember hearing anything about that either.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
Um, so I will get that turned on and see what it is. Like that would be super interesting to see, like transfers between branches and things like that. So I mean, there's other ways to get to it, but
I have a report for transfers. Sorry, I don't mean to like keep going, but I have something started with
cool.
transfers and stuff between branches.
We're stalling till Georgette.
Tells us to we're starting.
We're just stalling. Hi, Georgette.
Hi.
You're muted.
Okay, got it now. I'm using my phone for the first time. I'm sorry I'm late. It's been an absolute crazy 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So yeah, we can start. I don't have the agenda. I've been out. I was on a conference and then a vacation and then I got sick. So I have not put together an agenda or anything and I apologize for that. But I think sometimes we do better without an agenda.
Yeah, we were just talking about who's gone to 250503. That's what we're on now, 250503.
We just got updated yesterday.
Okay. Did you have the outage this morning too? Were you part of that?
No, that
Oh,
wasn't
good.
us. We didn't have a problem. So
She's on a different rack.
yeah. And the only issue that we had was a notifications. And Bywater was able to fix it right away. Excuse me, I'm still recovering. So I have to wear my mask at work. So but so we had a notifications issue that things weren't going out properly or something like that. So Christopher got on it right away and Bywater got on it and it's fixed and we honestly haven't noticed anything major. And the last update, it was like almost immediate. We knew there was a problem. There was a problem here, there was a problem there. This one, pretty smooth.
Yeah, that's how
But I
I
haven't,
felt too.
yeah, yeah. And I haven't noticed a lot of big changes, at least right now, but
Well, I think it was mostly acquisitions too. I'm
I think
seeing
it was, yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of like I'm logging onto my acquisitions module right now, and it's. I mean, I've already seen this before because it was in my test server, but it seems pretty straightforward and
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
got
oh, go
sorry,
ahead.
Georgette.
No, you're good.
Oh no, I was gonna say I've only got one thing. I didn't notice I had a ticket for it this morning that if you put in a search by a username before, if it was a single one-to-one, it would take you straight to that account, and now it brings you to the pick the user account like page.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, what is with this?
I know. I've noticed that too. I have one patron that we always just put in her last name and it comes up, and now I've got like two of them that come up, and I have to make sure I get the right person. And it's like, so I did notice a little bit on, yeah, searching for patrons changed a bit, but
And the holds. So if you have a record that has like a ton of holds, and you look at the holds queue for it, like the pending holds, now you have like the current number, which is a blue box, and then the number above it, which is the number you can change it. And before it was just one number. Like, why do we have the
Right.
same number listed twice?
Right.
So that was the only thing I looked at. I was like, that's messy. Like,
Yeah.
maybe somebody needs that if they're moving things around.
Maybe.
They have
I
to
don't
remember
know.
where they're going, like, but other than that, I was like, that's just a weird UI kind of thing. I was like, what
Mhm.
happened here?
Yeah.
Because we were on 250502 on our test server.
Hmm.
So that wasn't like that. So
Right.
this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But luckily, no, you're right, Georgia. We had the same problem with the last upgrade. It was like
Mhm.
immediately 10 tickets off the
Oh,
bat. And
yep,
this one's just like,
exactly.
eh. And I haven't heard from our acquisition staff yet, so I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll get there.
Yeah, we
I haven't
haven't,
heard from, yeah, I haven't heard from anybody here that there's a problem.
yeah, we haven't submitted any orders yet today, so
Mhm. Yeah, and we don't use acquisitions. We're small enough that we just don't use it, so I wouldn't know what the changes were.
I know our acquisition staff was looking forward to some of them, like searching vendors and some
Mhm.
of the layout
Mhm.
changes.
Right.
But other than that, I try to stay away from acquisitions as much as I can.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, we've just never used it because, we're so small that
Yeah.
it's to try and set up all the different accounts and everything. It just wouldn't work. Yeah, I think we order maybe 50 or so books, they'll do it at a time, but it's like from the same vendor. So, we don't do a lot of different vendors. We do Amazon, Baker Taylor, and now we're doing Ingram right now because Baker Taylor's issues. So,
Cindy, do you guys use acquisitions at all?
No, we don't. We we have 9 libraries and every library does their own acquisitions and we have just never used it. Most of them are pretty small. So they're just
Mhm.
using B&T or Amazon or, just 2 or 3 vendors.
Right. Same here.
Nobody's asked me to implement it, so I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
You're like,
I
no,
think
they
it
don't have
works
an
for,
acquisition model. Sorry, sorry, they don't
Yeah,
have it.
yeah.
never
Doesn't
saw it.
exist. Sorry, just hide it completely.
Yep. Hmm. No. But I don't have, like I said, I don't have a lot because I was gone for a couple of weeks. So um, I'm still playing catch up.
Oh
So I
yeah,
have,
that's the
you
worst.
know, yeah, and ran into some issues that we've had, and it's like, oh goody. So I get to be the one to take care of it. I'm so excited. Which I don't mind, but it's like, oh man, really? I come back from vacation and I run into, fraud on the credit card
Mm.
and all that. So
It's not catch up, it's
um,
dig out.
yeah, that's kind of what it is. Yeah. So
Oh, I'm
that's why it
sorry.
was late. I may not even stay for the entire meeting because I'm on a different time zone than the people I need to call. So I gotta,
Oh,
yeah, I'm out here in the Pacific Northwest, as you guys are, and um, if I need to call back east, they're a 3 hour time difference. So it's
it's already
what,
2 o'clock
2 o'clock?
here.
Yeah, yeah. So I gotta call here in a few minutes and about this fraud. So
Ugh.
yeah, I know. So that's why I was late and why I may not stay. Oh gosh, it's been interesting.
Were you able to go to the
So,
koha-US conference?
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was good. Yeah, yeah. It was good. Learned a lot and I love the networking that and seeing my friends and all that. So But yeah, I pretty much go every year since I'm CERC and I'm on the conference committee. So
I haven't been to one in person, but maybe someday.
yeah,
I've been to them all virtually. Very grateful for the virtual option.
yeah. Well, you
Maybe.
gotta come in person, gotta meet.
Yeah, we don't have the travel budget really, so
I understand. That happened to us for a couple of years. In
so
fact, we're just now back to being able to travel again for the last couple
yeah.
of years.
We have a couple people going to AspenCon next month.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think it's in Nashville. Yeah,
It is.
Nashville.
It's in Nashville, yeah. And I'm probably gonna just I may do 1 or 2 sessions virtually on that. I feel I need to learn a little bit more about it, so I may just do some virtual. There's no way I can go to Nashville after just coming back from Rhode Island and
Yeah.
dealing
Plus,
with
you have to get healthy.
things. Yeah, exactly. I gotta get healthy.
Rebecca,
I
are
have too
you
much coming
going
up in the next several months.
Yeah. Am I going where, Charlie?
to AspenCon? Because
No, I'm going virtually.
well, maybe
Sorry.
I can meet your people and just be like, hey, just
Yes,
say
my
hi,
people,
Rebecca,
they're
from me.
awesome. We have our web developer Jonathan going and our head cataloger Keisha going. She presented at AspenCon in Denver when it snowed.
Mm.
Ooh.
And they had to pivot from in person in the university or the wherever they were to like presenting from the hotel lobby and their bedrooms and stuff
Wow.
because it snowed so much they couldn't get out.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So I think this year that having it in Nashville will be a lot nicer.
Yes.
Hopefully no hurricanes or definitely no snow blizzards.
Right.
But I guess that's the disadvantage of having it in Denver.
Yeah. And Ingram
yeah.
is like right next door if you're gonna do that tour.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on the last day. It's like 9 to 2. I can't make it, unfortunately, because my flight is at 2, but oh, God, really want to go.
Just miss your flight. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no
I
big
was
deal.
delayed.
Yeah.
I can't make it.
Yeah. I was abducted by book nerds and they kidnapped me and they wouldn't let me go. And yeah.
Yeah.
Can I use this as evidence for when the police ask me later?
Maybe I'll
This is
maybe I'll
recorded.
wish, yeah, wish
Oh,
for
yeah, it
wish for a delayed flight for you till maybe like 8 p.m. that night so you can go.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, traveling for conferences is really difficult.
Mm.
Especially if
Everyone should
you're
just
not in
get
control
out
of
as
it.
soon as possible.
Yeah. I always felt so bad for the Friday people. Anybody who presented the last day, it's like, oh, last day, last session.
To be honest,
My heart
if
goes
I
out
were
to
to
you.
present, I would want to have Friday just because like this group would be smaller. That would be my prime spot if I were
Yeah.
ever to like present at any of these things.
Georgette, was there anything from the Cirque Sig that you met at koha-US that was
No, we mostly just talked about kind of what the Cirque Sig was, who we were, who John and I are, and that we just kind of come together and chat about things. So there wasn't a lot that was discussed. It was hard to take notes while I was kind of running the meeting, but and it's probably recorded somewhere. But we just basically said, this is who we are, this is what we do, this is kind of what we discuss, and it and that we didn't come up with a lot. Most everybody was just kind of figuring out, how do you do this, how do you do that, kind of some newer people is like, how do you do mending, how do you put in mending, how do you put in damages, things like that. So there wasn't any big major revelations that we had.
still interesting though?
Yeah, yeah. So it was just a nice come together and kind of talk about, how the group works, what we do, that we just discuss a variety of different, CERC issues, and did anybody have any issues, and I gotta find my notes. I told you I didn't come overly prepared today. which I can talk about at next month's meeting, but you know, there were a few things people brought up, but it wasn't like a major thing. It was just, yeah, kind of this is what we do, or this is a workaround, or, and I'm sorry, it should have been more prepared, but like I said,
You're fine.
life got overly crazy.
Well, if we need something to talk about, I have two things.
Okay.
So the first one, I've actually talked to Georgette about this before, but I was wondering what your process is for long lost overdue items that have fines on them, how long you keep them and those patrons before you delete those items / patrons if they've been inactive for like however long they're inactive for. Like what are your things? I have like a proposal that I'm trying to send to my admin just to tell them this is going to be a new recurring thing because it's been almost 4 years since my last patron purge, and I know that one I need to get a move on because that is being tracked by the state library. Yes, I know.
Sorry, I just had to throw that up there.
No, I understand. It's
Whoa, you're in for quite the hurt when you get that done. Oof.
yeah. Well, I've been doing like all the accounts that have like 1 month like expiry dates, like if they don't get like verified within like the 1 month period, I delete those no problem. And those are the internet cards, those are the welcome cards, and like e-cards, which you register online kind of thing. Those are easy to delete. It's all the other cards like that have been verified,
Yeah.
but they have long lost overdue items on them
Yeah.
that like they stop coming
So-
to the library because of them, for example.
So for in case you didn't know this, you can get Bywater to delete those for you. So I have the online cards that we have. Maybe it's just the online cards. I'm not sure about other cards. We have the online cards that are auto purged. So they reach a certain date and then they're deleted from the system. And it's an automatic cleanup, so I don't have to think about it. So we give our online cards 3 months to get in after their expiration. And then they're purged from the system unless they are, I run a report every week for blatant misuse of the system for online cards. So we get people from out of the country or out. We were getting a lot from Arlington, Texas. So we actually put a redirect on our registration page that said, hey, if you're from Texas, please click this link, and it directs them to the Arlington, Texas library website where they sign up. That cut down on that report quite a bit. Like I was deleting 25 to 30 cards a week, and now I'm down to like 5 to 10. But we do get a lot of people who try to use our online databases and stuff with a free card. So we delete those as soon as we find them. So we run I run that report like twice a week. But the regular online cards, when they've reached that 3-month period, honestly, can't remember if it's a system preference or if it's a Bywater ticket, but you can ask them about it. And maybe they can do your other card types as well, like delete, whatever. But it does work for our online cards. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
It tracks
know.
people who only use online, because there are some patrons who are homebound, of course, and the only thing that they do is like use their card online. Are like that, and
We have a
that's where
patron.
the conversation earlier about the inactive patron report came from. That's why I'm trying to like kind of create that so that I can find those people and be like, okay, so they're actually like active. They're not inactive.
Right.
Of.
So
See,
we have, I'm sorry, a special
No, go ahead.
patron type for online. It's just called online patrons. And they can't check anything out, but they can use the computers and they can use the databases, certain databases, not all of them. But and they can place holds so that if they wanted to like come into the library and they get the online card at home, put the holds on, wait for the holds to come in, and then come into the library, we can update them to a regular circulating patron type. But we actually have an online patron type specifically for these kind of cards. So,
Yeah, we have an online patron, and they have 30 days to come in. But as far as long lost items, we keep them for, I send notices. We clean up the database every, if you haven't used your card within 2 years, it's deleted out. But if they have long lost material, because I'm a municipal library, it does go collection. If it's a, $50 or above, it goes collection. Otherwise, I have to get permission to waive the fines before I delete the patrons.
Yeah, we don't have
So
a
ours
collection agency, so, and I don't think we're planning on following that route, but I did bring that up with admin, is like, but yeah, it doesn't sound like that's something that they want to do where we send them to collections. We just
Right.
want them to just be deleted out of the system so that, I don't know, but the tracking thing, once you delete them, the tracking thing, it's just,
It's gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
it's gone. So.
There's no way to track it.
So I had to look up our policy to remember what we do, but we revamped it when we went fine free. So our items are classified as long overdue after they remain unreturned for 5 days. And then items are classified as lost after they remain unreturned for 3 months after the due date. After 3 months elapses, we mark them, Koha marks them as lost and paid, and we charge the patron's account for replacement. And we keep our, so we used to just keep patron accounts indefinitely because we never had any standard rules for cleaning things up. So
Right.
a few years ago, we decided to keep things for 7 years. And then last year we decided to just keep things for 5 years. The state wants us to do like 3 years. So we're in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. So, I mean, that's and so if a patron has a lot of stuff on their card, it's kind of discretionary. Like we might leave their account in there for longer than that so that other libraries can be aware that, oh, this might be a problem patron if they happen to come back. But with some of these people, they're never coming back and they might have stuff still checked out on their account, or they might still have the fee for it on their account, but we just delete them because we're probably never going to see them again. Like there'll be notes on their card saying their
Right.
address is in doubt or whatever. So, we clean them up periodically. And now we started doing it annually. So we keep them for 5 years, but we clean them up annually.
Mhm.
do you do that before or after fiscal year? And you run all your stats?
We do them, I usually do them yeah, that's a good question. I think I usually
would
do
do
them
it
in about late January.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. We're also starting to use stats for developing a county funding formula because we get funding from our county as well. So we're revamping the funding formula for that with like how many patrons you have registered, how many users you have, because we have patrons that use multiple libraries. And I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff. Like we recently found that we used to have a staff member at one of our libraries who would create accounts for people that contributed to our annual patrons drive. And she would put crazy long due dates or not expiration dates on them. So we had patrons whose accounts were never expiring, like they're like, 2055 or whatever. And
What a perk.
Wow.
we're gonna clean those up too. Like we're gonna, and like a lot of them never use the library. They might donate, but they never came in to use the library, so they have no circs on their record at all.
Yeah.
I mean, we appreciate them using or not. We appreciate them donating, but I don't know. So yeah, we're finding all kinds of oddball things because we've used Koha since 2008. So
Oh, wow, okay.
data, yeah.
Yeah, for us, Charlie, we have our items are long overdue lost at 28 days past the due date. And then they stay, and that's when we send a printed notice, like an actual mailed notice to the patron, which we actually don't send in-house. We contract with UMS
Oh,
to
really?
send our,
We used to
yeah,
do
to
that, the
send,
safe harbor letter.
I don't know what it's called. We just call it the lost printed bill notice. And they just customized one for us and gave us, you know, the heading, and they get the file every night about which items are lost, and then they send out the letter, excuse me, send out the letter the next day from Detroit somewhere. And it gets to back to Arlington the fall. So it's like a 3-day turnaround, which is great. It's super fast. And that just says, hey, you have overdue items, lost items, you know, you're now being charged for these items. We don't charge overdue fines. We're like Cindy. We don't have overdue fees, but we do charge for replacement costs. Like if you lose an item, we want either the item back or we want you to pay for the replacement for the item.
Right.
And then that stays on their account. So I delete accounts. Certain patron types is monthly. I go through and delete them, and then each patron type has a set rule for them. No longer than 3 years unless they are in collection. So we also use UMS for the collections, and we have a really good return rate of our materials, which is good, you know, because we're not trying to, you know, disincentivize anyone or penalize anyone. We just are like, we really like our stuff back because it's expensive.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially
You
with all the
know.
processing attached to it.
Yes, and we send out, they're very nice, and they send out multiple letters, and I think they can also send out emails now, but we don't have that option. So they send 4 printed letters and a couple of phone calls. And it's a set flat fee for each patron, which we then assess back to the account. They have to pay for that, and we call it a non-negotiable fee because we've given them a pre-due courtesy notice, an overdue notice, a second overdue notice, a printed letter. Like we've given lots and lots of notices. So we're like, by the time you make, and you have to have more than $25. So those accounts in collections stay at least 5 years. For us. The items may be withdrawn in 3, depending on the person. Like we have some people that owe a lot of money, so all of those items just stay like valid and active. But regular patrons are deleted at 3 years of inactivity. Like if they haven't used their card, if they're expired. And now we're using UMS's automated patron renewal system.
I heard about that.
So basically we said to them, and it was easy to set up, like working with them was great. We just said these cities and these counties, and they created like this map. And we said, if they move in the map, renew them, and they get a nice little email saying, hey, you've been renewed for 3 years. They also update their address in Koha for us. So they'll put that back in, like they've moved, like patron has moved, here's the new address, and they write it into our database for us. And that's all they can do. They can't do anything else. Like they don't see any patron data or anything. They just see the address. And, or it'll say patron has moved out of the jurisdiction, like out of the map, or patron has moved within the map, but out of the jurisdiction. Like we have some certain areas. So that it's like, are you a resident of Arlington, the county? That's one patron type. Or did you move to another county, but still inside the map? That's a different patron type, like outside Arlington. So yeah, and that saved us a lot of work. Like it's 1,400 patrons, you know, a week that get renewed. Sorry?
How many, like, how big is your system? Like, how many branches do you have? Like
Yeah, so we have 8 circulating branches plus the detention center facility plus archive locations that they're not open to the public, but they can get, that's where they house our research. So yeah, and then we're in Arlington County, which is only, oh shoot, I should know this. It's either 23 or 32 square miles across. It's like one of the smallest counties in the United States.
nice.
And we have around 150,000 people that use our system. But because we're so close to everyone else, like Washington, DC and other cities and counties, we have something called the Consortium of Governments. So they all got together at a government level and said, well, if you live in DC, you can get an Arlington card, and Arlington people can get a DC card. And like if you live in the neighboring county, we'll let you have a card in our system, which is really great because a lot of people will work in, DC, but live in the suburbs and not be able to get to their branch. So we're not a consortia. There's just an agreement.
Mhm.
So you could have 8 library cards or 9 library cards just in this area if you're willing to go and get a card in each system. This is kind of fun. It's good for e-libraries.
That
People, I'm
sounds
like,
like the kind of setup that we used to have, honestly. We used to have the collections letters sent to patrons and the printed ones anyway, but we had to cut that due to budgeting. So now we're trying to find out a way to, I guess, still get our items back, but through email, text, or phone messages, because those are the only options that we have right now. We're still trying to decide if we should have staff be sending out those letters, and we're just like, we don't want to do that, but
I send out ours. We send out 2. We send automatically. The system is set to send a 7-day notice, and it sends a 75-day notice that is considered a billing notice. That's the lost one. And then I send out a letter saying, okay, these items are now considered lost. This is how much you owe. You need to get them back by a certain date. And then if they don't, they get an invoice from us. We do everything we can. We don't want to send them to collection if we don't have to. And so we send them an invoice, and then they have 30 days. And if at that point they don't return it, then if it's 50 and above, we go collection. Sometimes I give them a call and say, hey, look, you got these, I need them back, and I need them back by this date. If it's under 50, then, I have to get permission to waive it, and we take it from there. But we leave it sit for a little bit because sometimes that invoice and the card is blocked, they come in to use it. It's like, sorry, you got fines, and then we do, myself and one of my fellow staff members, we prep everything to send a collection, and we send them to collection after 70 days. But I do it, myself and one of my coworkers. But we're a smaller library, or smaller.
a lot
So
of
we
work
have this,
on you though.
It is, but
Yeah.
I don't mind. It is a lot of work, but it's okay.
even with templates, that sounds like a good chunk of time, especially if you're mailing them all out.
It is, and we are mailing them, yeah.
Okay.
Do
So
you
a
have
lot
like,
to think
I'm
of.
sorry. Do you have like a report for that, Georgette, where it just
I do.
spits out all the information? Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
So we
So I
have
was
a
thinking- Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
oh yeah, we have a report, and then I have a standard form that we just go in and change, the name and the titles of the items. But I pull a long lost report, and that gives me everything I need. So I basically just go through, look it up, see, are they at collection? Do they need to go at collection? Do they just need an invoice? And then we kind of, my coworker and I, Rhonda, she and I work together, and she sends out the first 2 letters. I take it from there. And so we kind of, we have a spreadsheet that we work with, and it seems like a lot, but I guess because we've been doing it for so long, we've got it down to pretty good science, so we get it, we could do it pretty quickly.
Charlie, I was thinking for you, if you want to you could create more emails. Like, you have your
Pre-due, we don't have the pre-due. So
pre-due is what we send 3 days prior when the auto renewal doesn't renew anymore. Because either there's a hold or whatever. They've hit their limit, and you could do the pre-due, which is a 3-day or whenever you want. You set the time. Like some people send the due notice, which is the same day. I know that they've done that, and I think you could have multiple notices after that.
we have like 3 overdue notices that get sent out. So mostly we don't have the pre-due, but we do have the due, and 3 overdue notices that get sent out, letting patrons know that, hey, phone, SMS, email, you still haven't returned your items. What I was trying to look for, and I don't believe it exists, is if Koha has like a notice that I can be like, hey, this is what you're charged on your account right now. I don't believe we have like an account or any kind of cron job that would be able to send out. Let me mute that. That would
Do
be able to
you
send.
happen to have the ability to mass mail out of another system, not just Koha, but something else? Because we actually used to do that. We would send a 30-day notice and a 60-day notice if the person had fines of X amount or higher, they would get a 30-day notice. Like every 30 days, they would get this email. And then if it was less than X amount, it would be every 60 days or 90 days. It was like, oh, this was back when we had overdue fees. Like, oh, you owe us, 80 cents. And it was just a set template that I can't remember what we used for it. It wasn't Outlook, but it wasn't through, because our proprietary system wouldn't let us send messages like that. So what we did was we ran a report that said, show me all the people with emails that owe X or higher, and then show me all the people who have emails with X or lower. And then we just put those into like kind of a mail merge, if that makes sense.
Okay, I think I've actually tried that before. It wasn't successful, but I know I've tried something like that before. You said,
But I have a feeling like
Coert,
maybe
right?
George or Jason or Chris might have something set up like that. I don't think it exists. I don't remember ever seeing a fines notice, but I almost feel like you could set one up.
I thought at first that like if you go to your notices and slips, there's an account summary or account balance slip that I was looking at that could possibly do that, but I don't think there's like a cron job that is able to send the message of this is how much you owe right now because of these items that you haven't returned, kind of thing.
I'm looking at the notices and slips library on the wiki, and there is an example of an overdue notice with total due on there. Where'd it go? There's a lot of
think we have the total due, but I think we were trying to send like a separate from like the overdue notice thing. Just be like, hey, this is what your account looks like right now. Ooh.
You could, well, if you're not using all 3 tiers of the overdue notice, you could make one of them that and just use the total on it. Maybe.
And that's very easy to do. I feel like it's already on there, but let me check right now.
I just put George and Christopher's Thursday, every other Thursday talk about notices and wiki slips wiki into the chat. It's from 2024, so maybe that might have some information for you.
Nice. Yes, that is perfect.
I haven't watched it, but they're always super helpful. Like, I'm so grateful to George, Christopher,
Right.
I know.
and Jason too. I'm like, and Andrew. I'm like, between the 4 of them, somebody's got to have an answer, right?
They're great.
Yeah, they really are wonderful. I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for them all. And not just them, like all the Koha, like all of us here, we're all leaning on each other. And I always learn so much from these things. So I'm always grateful
Oh,
to
good.
attend.
I'm glad.
Okay, I don't have it on my overdue notice for the 3rd one, so I'm gonna just add it right now. This is how much you owe. I don't know if it'll scare people away or make them curious to come in and be like, hey, I'm gonna pay this, but at least they'll know. And I'll have to talk to UMS
Mm-hmm.
to update that on the phone and SMS side. Okay, I feel like that answered my question, and I think I know what my next steps are. Thank you guys.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You
There.
said you had a second. You had two things.
I had a second. I just wanted to know, I know we touched on it a little bit, but I'm gonna just drop the link here. I wondered if you maybe wanted to do an overview of the bug roundup and see if you guys are seeing any of the bugs on your end. I'm not seeing it on my end, but maybe I'm not looking well enough. The new behavior, I'm really happy about. EDI plugins, I don't have to worry about them as much anymore. So
Mhm.
pretty happy about that. Thank you, Kyle.
Looking forward to the scrolling glitch because our library's been getting the scrolling glitch like crazy for like 6 months, I think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I did apply the patch and it worked.
Yes.
Forgot all about it, actually.
Will the patch still work even after the upgrade? I haven't even tried that.
I didn't even realize there was a patch. We just been living with
Yeah.
it because we thought it was like we got new mouses around the same time, so half of our staff thought it was just
No.
the new mouse like connectivity issue. But then it was also I realized if I just grab the scroll bar and move it, it goes away. So it was kind of like, it's one of those things. And I
Yeah,
didn't even realize there was a bug for it.
yeah. Well, I'm trying to find like we have our own ticketing system, the ticket for that where I documented the tweak I made. I think it was in one of the like the JavaScript blocks that you can customize, but I don't remember which one.
If anything, you can use that CSS that's in the bug roundup. Yeah, that one. And you can just put that in your intranet user CSS, and that should resolve the issue. If you're
Mhm.
still seeing it right now.
Yeah,
I'm,
and that
I'm going through I'm scrolling as much as I can, and I can't see it. So maybe it was fixed.
We're getting a new update applied tonight, so we'll see it. Have to see how that goes, and if that resolves it, then that resolves it, and if not, then look into it some more.
Yeah, I didn't know we had a problem. I hadn't heard about that one. Like I said, I've been so out of it. The 2 weeks I was gone and literally had a day in between. And then I was sick for a week, so so I've been out. So I haven't heard any. I didn't realize there were some issues with scrolling.
I think
Yeah,
it's
we
really
have.
for the fans of the scroll wheel. If you use your
Uh,
scroll wheel, like that was really where it was noticeable. If you just did it
That's
manually with your
me.
arm, you're good.
I'm a scroller. I have my wheel. I love the wheel.
I hadn't noticed it, so maybe it's because I'm not a wheeler.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the bug 40331. The extra transfers generated when a hold is canceled. And I would see like 15 to 50 entries that had to be canceled by hand when these things were happening. And it would just be like the same book over and over and over and over and over. And I was like, what is, so I reported it and they're like, oh yeah, that's a, oh, thanks. So I'm excited not to see these in my transfer anymore because it's weird because it would say it was in transfer and on the hold shelf for someone different.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Oh, sorry. Somebody just posted in Slack about the issue I was talking about at the very beginning of this meeting about the single user not pulling up directly into the account where you search by username and it gives you that list instead of just taking them directly. So yeah, it just popped up into Slack.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, how many of your tickets moved over from old Koha tickets to new Koha tickets? 0?
So
Zero.
my current ones, the ones that had the most recent post, for example, those moved over, and the open ones moved over. None of my closed tickets moved over. None of the
Yeah.
history of my open tickets moved over. But I did send in a new ticket saying, please, is there any way you can import my old tickets and the history of the new tickets? And they said that we can export that information, but we can't import it into the new ticket portal. So at
Yeesh.
least I'll have that information,
Okay.
but you need to submit a ticket and give them a couple of days, because it's going to I've submitted a great number of tickets in the last couple of years.
Yes, us too.
Yeah.
And the issue was, I thought when they switched over, we were still going to be able to see RT, not necessarily submit it, but at least look at it
Right.
for another year. And I had a lot that were pending or on hold or a bug queue, and I only had 2 tickets transfer out of maybe 30.
Yeah.
So I got to go back and read all my emails and figure out where I was on some of these and resubmit them all. So I will put in a ticket. Thank you, Charlie. I didn't think about that.
I don't know that we have a problem. Christopher handles all of our tickets for Bywater, so.
I meant to ask last time, is it Christopher Brandon you're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
I don't know why I never made that connection. I was like,
Yeah.
Christopher. How many Christophers do I
yeah,
know?
yeah.
I feel like we should call him Sir Christopher or Lord Christopher or
I am down.
King Christopher, Supreme Emperor.
What's
Yeah, I like that.
I'm sure he would too.
Supreme Overlord or something like that? Yeah, that I'm down.
All right, well, we are at our time. I
Thanks for
apologize
sticking
again
it
for
out,
being late.
Georgette.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
We
bet.
feel better.
Oh, thank you. I'm getting there. I'm on the positive end of it all. So
Oh, good. It's
yeah,
awful
so
being sick.
it
So,
is. It's no fun. But it was all pretty much just, kind of sinusy all in my face,
Cool.
and so it's all good. It's all, I got meds and go in the right direction with it. So
Well,
but
good luck,
all right,
everyone.
yes, and we'll meet next month, and if anybody's got anything in between, shoot a message and we'll see what we can do and we'll put it on the agenda.
Bye, everyone. Have a good day.
All right, bye-bye.